Hello everybody, welcome to a tropical update here. This is the wide view of Atlantic right now, and you can see the only thing to watch, of course, is Tropical Depression Ida, which is currently ongoing in the Caribbean Sea right now, which has recently actually just come off into the Caribbean Sea, I should add as well. With the system, let's take a look at the key messages here. This is the Spanish version of the key messages. You can stop it right now if you want to. And here's the English version as well, if you want to stop through right now and read that as well. But let's go ahead and take a look at the forecast coming from the National Hurricane Center for the system. Tropical Depression Ida. As of this latest update, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, advisory 22. System's currently located at 16.6 degrees north, 87.8 degrees west. Maximum staying 1-minute winds at 35 miles per hour, which of course makes it a tropical depression. Moving due north at 8 miles per hour. Now over, of course, the Caribbean Sea. Tropical storm watches are also in effect for all the Cayman Islands at this point, and this system is really kind of an oddball here in terms of where it's going to end up here in terms of track and intensity here. A really wide range of possibilities with this particular system. Again, unfortunately, like with many systems this year, really uncertain forecast. I hate to say it. So really wide range of possibilities here with this particular system in terms of intensity and track wise here. Just keep an eye on the National Hurricane Center for the latest information on the system here. And keep in mind, we haven't really had a well-developed low-level center circulation with this particular system form yet. So once we get that, once we get hurricane reconnaissance aircraft flying into the storm again, we'll get a better grasp on what the system's doing, and they'll of course input that into the models, and they'll come up with a better solution as to what this particular system's going to do here. Yep, and also to note, in the last 3 forecast points from this National Hurricane Center update, the forecast to be a 65 mile per hour tropical storm as it enters the Gulf of Mexico here, perhaps starting in the Florida Keys or going over the Florida Keys as it does so. It's a really kind of interesting scenario here. And there's a front that's forecast to push in and probably affect the system as it goes into the Gulf of Mexico here. So really interesting outcome that may happen with this particular tropical cyclone again. And there's infrared satellite imagery as well of the system, and you can see just how disorganized it is at this point. Like I said, pretty much at this point, we gotta wait for a well-developed sensor of circulation to form with this particular system, and once that happens, we'll get a better idea of what's going to happen with this system. But until then, the models are probably going to be kind of really, not condensed on where the system's going to go in terms of intensity and forecast tracks. It's going to be kind of really uncertain until that forms here. Let's take a quick look at the Eastern Pacific right now. Post-tropical cyclone Odile is 35 mile per hour post-tropical cyclone. Poses absolutely no threat to land at this point. It never did in first place here. And as you can see there, they forecast to continue. They forecasted actually to move southwest here and still move away from land at this point. So really no threat to anybody at this point, fortunately. Here's satellite imagery of the storm right now, and you can just see why the National Hurricane Center downgraded this to a post-tropical cyclone. Really nothing is left of the system there, and you can even see that better with this water vapor imagery here. You can see how much the dry air got into the system and weakened it and killed it off here, as much as dry air did as well too. Not dry air, winter. I mean, winter and dry air led to this weakening so fast, and really fortunate, I guess, for that to happen. And also really fortunate, of course, for this to be far away from land, not really impact anybody at this time, like I said as well too. Let's take a look at the West Pacific right now, frontier basins. We got Tropical Depression 22W, also known as Goni, that made landfall over Vietnam. We also got Tropical Storm 23W, also known as Atsani, passing just south of Taiwan. Let's take a quick look at Tropical Depression 22W, also known as Goni. This is the last the forecast cone from the Joint Typhoon Warning Center on a particular system here. And they have it making landfall, or they have it pretty much at landfall there over Vietnam as a tropical depression, as you can see there, and really an end of a chapter here per se of this tropical cyclone here. Really record-breaking system and astonishing system, and it's shown right here. Really incredible to see just how far this has gone throughout the past few days here, from a 195 mile per hour, 170 knot, 315 kilometer, 1 minute sustained catastrophic category 5 super typhoon at landfall in the Philippines to now a tropical depression making landfall over Vietnam. a really incredible system, and I know it's going to be studied for years and years to come here in the scientific community, just for how the system progressed and you know uh, progressed and made landfall over the Philippines at such an intensity here. Here's a wider view of the storm right now, and you can easily see why it's a tropical depression, a really sheared system at this point. Like I said, a really SL form itself. It went from, I believe it went from a 195 mile per hour catastrophic category 5 super typhoon to a tropical depression strength system, I think in a little less than 24 hours, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong on that, but I believe that's roughly time it took for it to weaken from, that intensity to a tropical depression strength system. It's really remarkable to see just how fast this thing weakened. Really impressive. And here's a look at Tropical Storm 23W, also known as Atsani, warning number 31 for this. 45 knot tropical storm, which is about 50 miles per hour. Forecast to peak as a 55 knot tropical storm, which is about 65 miles per hour as it passes just south of Taiwan before making that southwest jog there. As it nears Taiwan, there's probably a dissipated system or a really weak tropical depression swing system there. We'll see, of course, what happens of it. Really kind of oddball system this was. Last forecast that I showed, of course, this was forecast to peak as a 70 knot typhoon. Forecast before that, it was also forecast to peak as a 55 knot tropical storm force system. So kind of really uncertain forecast with this system in terms of track and intensity as well. Especially as you could see in that little cluster of tropical storm force icons there, how it kind of just meandered and stalled over the same general region. And really fortunate how this happened over open water here, and not say over Taiwan or over the Philippines here. Really fortunate how it happened over open water at this point. Really good news to see that happened over water instead of over land. Here's a look at what the storm looks like on infrared satellite imagery right now, and you can just see kind of really disheveled tropical storm here, but tropical storm nonetheless here, and probably giving some rainfall and gusty winds to extreme southern Taiwan, I would imagine here, especially on the southeast side of it, I would imagine. But it could have been a lot worse. Models, I think at one point models were forecasting this to also become a super typhoon around the same time that super typhoon Goni happened, or at least strengthened into a super typhoon. But of course, this system, fortunately, this system at least didn't come to fruition in terms of that intensity here. And we're looking at a moderate and tropical storm, and not say a super typhoon or a major Category 3 or Category 4 typhoon here. Could have been a lot worse. So really fortunate that it played out the way it did here in terms of intensity here and track. And that's going to be about it for this tropical update here. If you have any questions or comments, in the comment section below, and I'll try to answer them to the best of my ability. For I guess a basic summary of what's what I covered in this tropical update here. Tropical depression Goni, not really forecast to be much of a threat anymore. It's forecast to continue weakening over Vietnam. Really record-breaking system in its own right, and probably one, like I said, it's going to be studied for years and years to come here in the scientific community. And of course, we got Tropical Storm Atsani still ongoing in West Pacific, forecast to pass just south of Taiwan, probably give them some rainfall, and eventually forecast to take a jog to the southwest here, and eventually continue weakening and perhaps dissipate before reaching Vietnam. And then the main thing right now to watch, at least, is in the Atlantic, which is what you're seeing right now, and that is Tropical Depression Ida, which is forecast to re-intensify up to a tropical storm strength system, and may pose a threat to the Gulf Coast, unfortunately, and Cuba as well here as a tropical storm strength system. A really uncertain forecast in terms of intensity and track-wise of this system, so please keep an eye on what your local officials say, and also the National Hurricane Center and the National Weather Service here for the latest updates on the system for the Joint Typhoon Warning Center for the West Pacific storms, not storms in the Atlantic here. Joint Typhoon Warning Center for the West Pacific and a few other basins as well. Not for the Atlantic like the National Hurricane Center is. So just please keep an eye on the National Hurricane Center for the Atlantic side of things here for the system here, and you'll be good to go. And if you have any questions, or comments, in the comment section below, and I'll try to answer them to the best of my ability. If you want to know what links that I use for this tropical update, they're down below in the description below. You can click them and get knowledge yourself if you're interested in just seeing what's going on in worldwide tropics right now. And like I said, it's going to be about it for this tropical update here. Hope everybody has a great day, and wherever you guys are, stay safe, of course. Until then. See you guys in the next video. Peace.